All right, so we are now recording live here. I've got my brother from another mother, Yanick, here. He owns a gym, for those of you that don't know him, in Elliott Lake, Blind River area. And it's Yanick's Muscle Factory. So let's jump right into it. Welcome, Yanick, to the show. And for those that don't know Yanick, tell us a bit about yourself, your business, and your path to becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, as a kid, I always wanted to be involved in weightlifting. Since I was like 13, 14, I started powerlifting and stuff. So I always wanted to have a job that related to this because I think it's awesome that you could go to work not really going to work, like it's something you're passionate about. So it's something that, you know, it doesn't feel like work when you wake up in the morning and do something you love.
Right.
So it was always my dream to open up a gym as a kid. So I thought it was important for me to succeed in certain things. So I started powerlifting. I've done bodybuilding competitions, and then I got into strongman as well. Strongman has always been something I've been very passionate about because it's so different. You know, not a lot of people do it, and every competition is different. So the training is always different, and the goals are always different for the competition. So yeah, it's very interesting. So what I did was, so do you want me to tell you a little bit about how I started the Muscle Factory? Is that what you want to know? Or?
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about your path with powerlifting and then how you started the Muscle Factory.
Okay. Well, powerlifting wasn't really all that big when I was younger because the internet wasn't. We had dial-up, and it was hard to kind of know like where the powerlifting competitions were. So I kind of just like went to Thunder Bay quite a bit because I lived in a small town called Long Lac. The population's maybe 1,000. So the opportunity there is not that great.
Right.
I was probably the only one in the town that actually did powerlifting. So I started off lifting with my stepdad. He was a boxer. And this native guy one time in the gym says to me, "Hey, you're strong. Like you should go to a powerlifting meet." And I trained with him a little bit. And when you're young and you think you know everything, he was trying to show me different techniques and stuff. And I'm like, you know, but as time went, I've realized that what he was trying to show me was actually like legit. Yeah. So I entered my first powerlifting meet in Thunder Bay. So I took second in my first powerlifting meet. I was about 150 pounds and I benched 340. So that was my first. Wow. It was just a bench only meet.
Yeah.
So and that's when I started meeting a lot of people. So Thunder Bay is very big in the powerlifting strongman community. I'm in Dallas, Hogan, which he was pretty big in strongman back then.
Yep.
And he asked me to go to a few competitions with him, and I fell in love with it after that. So we traveled and we competed, and it was awesome. So yeah, like now things are different, right? With the internet, you can see what competitions are where, and you can sign up ahead of time. You can train for it. And yeah, it's better organized. Even strongman now has a federation with weight classes. So when I competed in strongman, there was no weight classes. So you had to qualify to go to Ontario Strongest Man back then. So there was Ontario Strongest Man qualifiers. So I went to 1 year, I did 3 of them, and I still didn't qualify because there's no weight classes. So I weighed about, I weighed about 200 pounds. Okay. And just to let you know, when one of the events was you had to deadlift 600 pounds for reps. So that was one event. So I think I got 3 or 4 reps at 200 pounds, and I was happy with that. But still, the winning number was 18. So
yeah.
So, anyways, what I did was I knew that being 200 pounds wasn't really something that I would turn professional at because it's hard being so light. But I love the sport, so I started training people. And some of the people I got involved in strongman are actually now some of the strongest men in the world. I trained Max. I started Max in strongman. Now he's doing his own thing, but he's considered one of the strongest men. He's actually went to a world level competition, which is cool because I can live through his eyes and see him, you know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I've seen his competitions. He's a pretty strong guy, man. It's insane.
Yeah, he beat the world's strongest man in 3 events out of 5, the last competition he did, which is unbelievable. And I think he put his name on the map So that's cool for me. Like, I love that. I love strongman. And I love training people for it, but not a lot of people can do it. So
It's tough.
that's why I opened a gym that's very different. My gym is good for everyone. So I set it up so that, you know, old people can train there, young people can train there, powerlifters, strongman, everything except martial arts. I don't have any martial arts equipment because there is a martial arts gym in town here.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I first moved to Elliott Lake, it was kind of funny. I moved here and there wasn't really a gym. There was like, it's kind of like a health center of some sort, and the weights go up to 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I explained that there's no way I'm moving in this town. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to set up.
You can lift more than 20 pounds.
Yeah. So I set up something in my house. That's how the the Muscle Factory started. I set up a full gym basement and a whole back split of the house. So there was a lot of equipment. And I was full of clients within a week. So I was working from 5 a.m. to about 9 p.m. And then I said, hey, let's look for a location. So I moved right next door to the arena in town. And now we keep growing all the time, and I keep buying better and better equipment. So we're very well set up, and yeah, it's going very well right now.
Nice. So we'll move on to another
Sure.
another question here too. Oh, sorry, what year did you open your gym? How old is it?
It's been 5 years now that location's been open.
That location, okay, right on.
Yeah.
So what? Just a question for entrepreneurs. What personal qualities do you believe are beneficial for an entrepreneur?
Well, I think the most important thing that people don't realize is that you need to treat your clients like family, like you actually do care, and you actually have to care. You don't like pretend you do. Right. I think it's very important. I treat all my members like family, and they're all my good friends. And whenever even if there's something going on in their life, they feel comfortable reaching out to me and being like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, and it has nothing to do with the gym. I'm very, very personal, and I help out all my clients in every way I can. That's huge. And I think building a relationship with each of them is awesome, because like, even in this time right now, our gym's closed because of COVID-19. It's insane how much support I'm getting from everybody, and it's blowing me away. And it's because of that. It's because we're not just a gym, we're a family, and
Right.
People call it their second home. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't wait for your gym to reopen. Like, I can't keep going on like this. So that makes me feel like, yeah, it's important to build a relationship, and it's important to know as a business owner that it's not a 9-to-5 job.
Right, absolutely.
Nobody that owns any business is going to work from 9 to 5. And if you do, that's great, but I don't think you're going to last.
Yeah.
So you know that you have to sometimes not sleep at night, and you know that sometimes you have to get up. And like I said, though, it's different. When you own your own business, you know that it's yours and that it's something you're passionate about. So you don't mind waking up in the morning to work because it's yours, right? But if I was working for someone else, I don't think I would do that.
No, I don't think so. Sometimes I get frustrated because I have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I wish I could just not sleep, not use the bathroom, not everything, not have any personal human functions I have to do, so I could just keep working because I love it.
Yeah.
So I definitely.
But loving your job is important, man. Like, and like I said, knowing that, you know, you just got to get up early. So usually I get up at 5 a.m. and my first class or client is at 6 a.m. So I'm at the gym every day at 6 a.m. And I don't usually leave the gym till about 8 at night to 9 at night. And then I have somebody take over after that and clean, and the gym stays open till about 10 or 11, depending.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So let's talk about what would you consider to have been some of the biggest successes and challenges over the last 5 years running your gym?
Well, the biggest success for me, I know it'd be different for every business owner, but for me, it's that, to be honest with you, when I first started this gym, I didn't have any money. So, I mean, how the hell do you start a business without having money, right? It's hard. It's really, really hard. So what I did was I started off with the equipment that I was able to afford. So that's what was tough, to try to open up a business with not a lot of like really, really good equipment. You know what I mean? And as time went by, I invested into the business and things started growing. So I kept buying like Rogue equipment and a lot of equipment that you won't see in any other gyms to be different. Like just like different types of bars, let's say, for example, we have like probably 30 different types of bars, and everything in the gym pretty much is Rogue now. So growing the business into making it my dream gym has been something that I'm very proud and I find very successful was, stepping up. So
Right.
improving it every day. And the biggest challenge again, it's starting a business when you have nothing. It's hard. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people start off a business and already are successful people. It's a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
So
No, definitely.
yeah,
Sometimes you got to spend money to make money. If you don't have the money, it's hard. You're
it's
limited
hard.
to things that you can do.
And you know what? Another thing too is hard to get credit when you own a business because a lot of like banks and stuff, to be honest, won't even lend you money if you haven't been in business for 5 years. So they won't even look at you or give you a chance. So it's
Absolutely.
really hard. It's really
Yeah.
hard, especially in a small town.
When you don't pay yourself and you don't have steady pay, a steady income, steady career, no one's willing to lend you money. So that's
Yeah.
another challenge for sure. I've
And,
run into that.
and the challenge is it's a risk. You're risking huge. Like if things don't work out, you're at loss, like big time, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what
the banks only see you as your assets that you have at liquid value as well, which is not much. So it's definitely a challenge.
yeah.
Speaking of challenges, how would you manage uncertainty and slow periods in business? As COVID-19 is really smoking the fitness industry, and a lot of gym owners are seeing a lot of gyms closing down
Yeah.
during this time. So how do you manage that uncertainty?
Well, you know what? I have, like I said, I have a lot of support from a lot of my members and friends like yourself, Mark. So right now I'm selling supplements at the gym, which is going very well. So I move what I can as far as supplements. And
Mhm.
then we started a clothing line. So we have a Muscle Factory clothing line where I sell like t-shirts, tanks, lots of hoodies, and we mail them out. So a lot of people, what I did is I started a free online class Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. on our Facebook page and Sunday at 7 p.m. as well. And so we actually do the entire 1 hour class with the clients live, and people have been following along. So that's been a huge success because people are trying to stay motivated during this time and it's hard. So my goal is to make sure that my members don't quit and that when I reopen, they'll be glad to come back in the gym and it's at least they were doing something. So I'm trying to really push those classes, and that's what we've been doing. We've been offering that, and people in return, they've been donating, they've been buying clothing, they've been buying supplements, and I've been doing everything in my power to try to keep my dream alive. So
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Absolutely. And that's what you touched on earlier too, is just by being a good person, genuinely caring about your customers and your clients, that comes back to you in times like this. So it's always important to, not focus on the money ever. It's always focusing on helping and adding value. And I'm sure that's what's been helping you through this time, because it's not easy for gym owners in this period.
And again, like I told you, it's about how much time you're willing to put in. Like a lot of gym owners I'm seeing, they're just putting up a workout, like just like, all right, that's what you guys are going to do this weekend. Like I find that's not enough to keep people motivated. Like you have to be there. They want to see your face. They want to interact. They want to ask you questions. Like during the live video, they're like, hey, how do you do that exercise? All right, I'll show you. Let's go. Let's do it together. Like
Yeah,
just to be involved. I'm here. You know what I mean? If you need me, I'm here. So
absolutely.
and they know that. So yeah, it's been working out so far, and I think my gym's not anywhere near close to be not reopening. We're reopening as soon as we can. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, Good Life and some other commercial gyms have just started to announce when they're going to be able to open again and what the changes will be. So
I thought that was a little strange because like I don't think it's up to them, right? We still got to hear from our, you know, from the government. They're going
yeah,
to let us know when we can open. I don't think they call any shots. Like there's certain things like I think when we reopen, there's going to be some really strict protocols we're going to have to follow.
yeah,
Like I think we're going to have to keep this 6 foot apart thing. I think they're going to limit the amount of people in the gym. I think that
Mask
trainers are
for
probably
sure.
going to have to wear a mask. So,
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to be oxygen deprivation training or something like that.
yeah.
Everyone's going to be MMA fighters by the time this is all back to normal. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be
Yeah, it's going to be
a
interesting.
different world.
Yeah.
What means of marketing have you found to be the best for promoting your business?
Well, to be honest, um, I I screwed up when I first started. Not purposely, obviously. I um, I started off by posting a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I love strongman, so I was posting a lot of videos of some of my clients lifting a lot of weight, and we've
Yeah,
had like a lot of really good, successful powerlifters in Elliott Lake. So that's what I would post.
right.
And that doesn't really reach out to the average person seeing
Pretty
somebody deadlift
intimidating.
600-700 pounds. Like,
Yeah,
actually, people were like, holy man, I'm not going there.
yeah, yeah,
So, uh, plus my sign has somebody lifting up a huge log on it. And,
yeah,
like, just because that's what I loved, right? But I think what happens word of mouth, I think people are like, no. Like, anybody can work out there.
yeah,
Yannick's really good with, injury rehab, good with pretty much anything as far as diet, everything. So I started getting like an older clientele that, they have injuries, they need to recover. And then all of a sudden they tell their friends. And then I started realizing, okay, I need to stop posting this stuff. It's not really all that important. And I started posting all kinds of different things. And then Facebook has been the biggest
yeah,
as far as reaching out to as many people as possible. And the older crowd is word of mouth, because most of them don't have Facebook and they don't even know how to use a computer. And
yeah.
I say that because in this town where I'm at, there's about 11,000 population, and about half of them are seniors. So
Right. Which makes it tough for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good thing you're such a personable, fantastic human being, because most people, if they just see strongman stuff and judge a book by its cover, they would assume that it's just for people that are strongman competitors and not want to go to the gym. But
Yeah,
that's
I got
so
a funny
not true.
story actually. One time, I had a buddy of mine. He was from out of town, and he came to work out with me. And he's like, "All right, man, you got to blast the tunes. Let's go. I'm gonna pull 800 pounds."
Yeah,
And so we blast the tunes full blast, like heavy metal, and he's pulling 800 pounds. And oh my god, a bunch of new clients wanting to buy memberships walk in, and
oh yeah,
they're older ladies, right? So
oh
they're like.
yeah,
So they see this guy lift 800 pounds for a double, and then I
yeah,
run to go shut off the music. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, the reaction I got from them was not what I expected. They're like,
yeah,
holy man, I want to train here.
yeah. Oh, sweet. We'll have you lifted 801 pounds by next week.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. How would you set yourself apart from competitive gyms?
I think a couple things. Competitive gyms, like, I've been to a lot of gyms in my life, and like I said, the family thing's very important. I'll explain to you how that works. Like, let's say somebody were to come in my gym. They're shy, they've never been in a gym before. I know what that's like. So I'll make sure that I have a conversation with them, show them around the gym, and like a normal gym would just show them around the gym and then pay your membership, and that's about it, right?
Right.
What I do is I make sure they know how to use all the equipment, and if they have any questions, they know they can come see me and ask me, and I won't charge them for that. And we have very affordable rates for personal training and classes. So you don't have to pay like $80 an hour for a personal trainer. That, I think, in my opinion, that's a little overboard, because it's hard to sustain keeping a client for a long period of time, paying that much money in a small community.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, in my gym, I think everything's pretty much affordable, and it's like nice, because when you walk in, you feel like it's such a smaller gym that everybody's friendly with each other, and everyone's kind of knows each other and are friends. And if they don't know each other, they will pretty fast. And it's awesome. It's like a little club where everybody knows each other and everybody supports each other.
Yeah.
So, we got the music blaring. It depends what time of day. In the morning, some ladies like to listen to country. So the country is blaring and everyone's laughing and saying jokes. And it's a really good atmosphere. It's different.
I've worked at a gym One of my first jobs was working at a gym when I was 16, and I know exactly what it's like to try and keep everybody happy with the genre of music.
Oh,
At
it's
certain
hard.
times it's hard, man.
It's hard.
Someone will always not like the music that's playing on the
Always. Yeah.
yeah,
But
always.
I try to keep it like, so if somebody
Majority
complains,
happy.
I'll try to switch it up for them. But the only thing is, like, that's what I find. Like, I have a lot of respect from everybody. And let's say if they know I'm training, they won't complain if I put my
Yeah,
music
yeah,
on. And sometimes I'll just wear my earphones or whatever.
yeah,
But you know what? People in LA Lake are so nice. They don't care what's playing. They're
yeah,
just there to work out and have fun. Like,
for sure.
yeah.
What would be your favorite quote or piece of advice that you've ever heard for business?
Well, it doesn't get easier. You just get stronger or better, I think is a really good one, because I have a client, she passed away of cancer, and she told me that. And I think that's important, because like when you work out, it doesn't necessarily, nothing gets easier in life, not even in the gym, in life. Like
Mm-hmm.
life just seems to always get harder. And if you push through and stay strong, I think you'll achieve bigger and bigger and bigger things. And as you grow as a person and you grow as a business, it keeps getting harder because you want to keep growing. And I think
Absolutely.
it's the same thing with working out. I think when you work out, and when you first start out, you're working out with small weights, right? And
Yeah.
it hurts. You're going to be sore the next day. And next thing you know, those weights become light. So you go heavier, and it doesn't get
Muscle
easier.
overload.
You just keep going and you keep going. And sometimes it gets annoying, because like when I go to the gym, I wish I can just lift 10 pounds and just get massive gains.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't work like that.
it doesn't work like that. You just have to keep going harder. So I remember this one girl, she said, "That's really discouraging." Because that's my slogan. I'm like, well, it's not really discouraging. It's the truth in life, right?
Yeah, you develop grit. Grit
Yeah.
is what I say. You develop grit. And I've been through some things in business that would have killed the 20-year-old me. But the
Yeah.
30-year-old me can get through it.
Yeah.
And, I would like to be in a position one day in running a big company where I have hundreds of employees, that their livelihoods and their financial well-being depends on my decisions that I'm making. And right now, I'm not ready to handle that responsibility and stress, because I could imagine the amount of pressure that would be. And life is all about making the right decision. And when you have that many people depending on you, it could get really stressful. So I know that is going to be the next level of grit that I need to develop to be able to handle that when the time comes. But you basically, whatever happens to you in life, Cindy told me this. She's like my sister, big sister. And it's so true. Like, no matter what happens in life, you have two options. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be crazy stressful, or some other issue of health or financial or relationship or whatnot. But you have two options. You can suck your thumb and cry in a corner, or you can deal with it.
Exactly.
And that simplifies everything, but literally that's it. Those are the only two options you have. So you deal with it and you develop grit, you get stronger, you get more resilient, and that's what helps you move forward. That's such a great piece of advice. And would you have any final words or advice to anyone that's watching this that might want to go down the entrepreneurial path?
I think, you know what? Sometimes when you have a dream or you have a goal, sometimes it seems impossible because you haven't started yet. And I think the most important thing is to take that first step, and you have to take the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any business owner took big risk when they started. So that's where I think business owners need to know that they need to take that risk,
Right.
like, and get started and take the first step on that ladder, because if you don't take the first step, you're never going to start. So some people think, oh, I'm not ready. Like I need to save more money, or, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, you're never going to be ready.
Never.
You just do it. Just figure out what you want to do. First of all, it's got to be something you're passionate about. Like if you're not passionate about, let's say, construction, well, don't do that, because you're not going to succeed at it, because it's going to seem like insane amounts of work. So you got to find something that you love, take the first step, start slowly, and keep building up. And with time, if you work hard, it doesn't matter what you do in life. If you work hard, you'll succeed.
Yeah, I love that. And it's about taking that first step, because sometimes you think about all the steps in the whole path and it seems overwhelming.
Seems impossible.
You just get started. you're
Yeah.
when you're an entrepreneur, you're a glorified problem solver. You have
Yeah.
problems you need to find answers to, and you just get started. I love that advice, man. That's great. And I think we'll wrap up the recording on that note. Thank you very much for being on the show. Can't wait to share this episode, and sit tight here. I'll talk to you after this.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.